So I'm going to make a physical book dummy. And so I've printed off the little illustrations I've done in Procreate, blown them up to near the size that I need them so that I can print them on my printer. There's a problem with my printer now, though. The black ink is not printing, but it's giving me a good enough idea so I can put a book dummy together. So I'm trimming the pages to the 8 by 10. I've printed the double spreads one page at a time, 8 by 10, so I can put it into the book dummy. You can experience the turn of the page and see if the words are working with the turn of the page and if the illustrations are working as you turn the page. And you get to see if the placement of the words is doing good in your book. I have to check and see if the size of the family that I'm putting in to sometimes at the bottom of the page, sometimes on the side of the page, if the size of the family is working and consistent. And so I'm just taping these pages together. It's going to be very rough, but it will be something that I can give physically to a critiquer so that they also can take a look at the book and kind of get an idea on the page turn and give me some feedback that will work at this point in the creation of Kiss Cuddle Tuck. So it's amazing what you can see in the book dummy that I've created, what things jump out at you that you are not able to see in the on-screen illustrations. And one of the things that I was worried about was even at the first when I added the little boy, I was worried whether that little boy was too small. And now as I take a look at the book dummy and the size of the little boy on some of the pages, I'm thinking maybe he's too big. So it really gives you a different look at the book and is a good step in moving from the on-screen Procreate So this is the bike ride this morning. Hit just a little refreshing rainstorm, which was really nice to ride through, so can't complain about that. So I've kind of put together this book dummy close to the size that it should be, and it's really rough. My printer is no longer printing black ink, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. But this really gives me an idea about the size of the illustrations that I'm putting into the book, and much easier to see and also to give to my critiquer so he can take a look at it and look through it and give me any observations that he has. And these are some of the observations that he's written about each page. And so he's just given me, like, from first light should the page of sunlight go beyond the branch on the left? And so I can take that comment and I can look at the illustration and I can see, well, what would happen if I took those light rays through the branch on the other side? Will that lead me off onto the left side of the page where I kind of want all the motion going off to the right? So these are some things to think about, but I can take these comments and really look at them and go over my book. One of the comments was that he liked the illustration of the mother on the page that they're hiking the trail and not so much on the other pages, so I have to pull up each illustration of the mom's face and see what I can do to change those faces and hopefully make them more pleasant or more like the one of the mother hiking the trail. So this is my next task, to go through this book dummy and look at the comments that have been given, and then I'm also going to run it past some other critiquers. So not only do I have to look at the critique comments and go through the book dummy and decide if there's things that I have to change, I also have to go through the book dummy and the illustrations and look at them again and try to decide, okay, is there something that's bugging me in the illustrations that I need to change and work on a little? And so I'm doing that, going through and really refining these illustrations to get them exactly the way that I want them. And then I'm going to put them in another book dummy so that I can look at them again and go through another critique process. So as I'm looking at this page in my book dummy, it looks a little bare above the family. So I'm wondering what I can put up there to kind of tie in the left page with the right page. And I'm thinking maybe if I sketch some more of those wild Mongolian horses, that would add to the feeling of a herd, because they would be running in a herd. And so I've looked at those horses and I kind of know what they look like, so I'm just sketching right out of my head. I want the kind of a white muzzle, and I love the way the hair goes. It sticks straight up, which design-wise is so fun to draw. So just sketching a couple of them just eating. They'll be in the background on the right side. And what would it be like to have this horse kind of alert and looking back over the top of the other two horses? So just thinking about what they would look like and sketching right out of my head. This is what helps if you have a sketchbook and carry that around with you. It becomes very easy to make these sketches. And as I stick it in this page, I'm going, yeah, that would make this page better. This is my new book dummy after I've made all the changes and things that I need to fix. Things that my critiquer said that I looked at and said, yeah, that would make the book better. And also things that I looked at once it was in the form of a book, so I could do the page turns and see if it was working that way. And so Kiss Cuddle Tuck. Dedication page, Library of Congress. And I'm looking at the size of this little boy here and reading the words out loud as I look at the pictures to see if they're working. From first light of morning till last light of night, trumpet that newborn, covey those quail, wrangle that infant, hike that trail, nurture those squawkers, nuzzle that foal, shoulder those hatchlings, spin and roll, cuddle those bear cubs, kiss that head, shepherd those children, tuck them in bed. Okay, so I've got to look at this, check where the type is, check the drawings, see if they're working, and run it past my critiquer one more time and see if we can move on to the finished art.
You could try reading your book dummy to a child to see how they react to it, but this is what happened when I tried that.
Do you want me to read you Kiss Cuddle Tuck?
No.
How come?
On another day?
On another day, not today?
Yeah.
You just told me you didn't want me to read it because it looked funny.
Yeah.
So it looks a little funny?
Look at my face in the picture.
Look at your face in the picture. Wow. That is amazing.
Look at this.
Oh, that's amazing too.
Nah.
Yep. And you didn't want to read my book because the book was funny.
Yeah, it was too funny.
Ideas for picture books, the very first idea, the spark, seems to come like a stroke of lightning out of the air into my brain. That's kind of what happened with this book, Kiss Cuddle Tuck. I was riding my bike on the trail and I saw a cow lick a calf. And in my mind were the words, lick that calf. And then from there, on the rest of the bike ride, I started running through this picture book in my mind and trying to come up with the rest of the picture book. And it was so exciting at that moment. When you have that first idea, the ideas seem to flow and they seem to come quickly. And so they were coming into my mind, and I would run through them as I finished that bike ride. And then as soon as I got home, I got it down on paper, and then the work begins. I'm to the point in the book where there's a pause. I've got the second book dummy done, and I've run it past one critiquer, and I need to take some time and run it past some other critiquers, but I have to get a hold of them, get their comments, and then get the information back from them. So that's going to take a while. I have to be careful not to lose my momentum. You can lose that momentum, and a book can get just lost in other things. But right now, there's other things that I can be doing while I'm waiting. There's a couple of shows that I can do some paintings for and enter some paintings that I have.
to like the Utah Watercolor Society, the 2-star signature member show. Artwork is going to be due for that, and so I need to make sure I do that. And then there's another painting that I want to paint, and so I sketched in my sketchbook from the photo that I took in Peru on the Inca Trail, and I'm going to blow that up, transfer it to watercolor, and do a watercolor painting of that while I'm waiting to hear back from the critiquers. So this is one of the porters that I met along the trail, the Inca Trail. He was on his way home, and I really wanted to paint his picture in watercolor. It's a good break from illustration. One is a little tighter and more detailed, and the watercolors can be larger and more free.